not a porno.
Penetration, ejaculation, orgasm, right?
你要不要加入我?
Precisely why married people don't have sex.
Is this a thing that we rarely do, or is it a thing that we never do?
Is when they're orgasming in sex.
I just met you, but you look. Oh girl, you blow my mind. I know what I would like to do, but...
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a very special episode planned for you guys. I have a special guest on my show. Here he is. Hi.
Hello?
Donovan's here.
Sorry, we didn't rehearse this. What did you want me to?
Well, you know why you're here, right? Contain your excitement.
Is this stuff safe for work? I just thought of that.
Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you, and you're like, ding, 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 smiley rabbit. So basically, we want to do the 7 days of sex challenge. So when I first proposed this idea to Donovan, his reaction to me was literally like, are we making a porno? Were you excited?
That was alright.
Why are we doing this? I want to do this because if you're asking the question, why is 7 days of sex even a challenge? Then you're not the right audience for this, because obviously every couple that we know, especially every couple with kids,
Especially
with young kids, are in a similar boat, right? Like people just don't do it anymore, aka we don't do it.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
There was a 30 days of sex challenge. 30 days is too long. I think that's physical torture. You think you could do 30 days?
No.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. 30 days is too challenging. I think even 14 days is too challenging. So we're settled on 7 days. So one of my girlfriends, she said that her husband proposed that they do 14 days of sex because he felt like he wanted sex in order to give her more attention and intimacy. And she felt like she couldn't give him sex because she didn't receive the attention and intimacy. Let's talk about us for a minute. What is our current frequency?
Like once a year?
Sounds about right. Once every 4 months. No, well, before you went to China.
like once a quarter.
We need to set some rules. 7 days.
Okay.
Sex once a day.
Okay.
What constitutes sex? Does it have to be penetrative vaginal sex? Is this the thing that we rarely do, or is it the thing that we never do?
The thing we hardly ever do, or the thing we never do?
Does anyone need to finish?
Yeah, that's part of the definition of sex.
That is not part of the definition of sex. In this challenge, somebody needs to finish. Does the time matter?
Like how long it is?
Yeah.
Probably just someone to finish. Yeah.
We got this.
It sound right, boy.
What do we want to get out of this?
Just want to have fun, right?
No.
Oh.
If it's just having fun, I don't have to do this in front of fucking camera.
Sorry, you're asking what am I getting out of 7 days of sex?
Yeah. It's an experiment. It's a challenge. I'll go first. So what I want to get out of this is I want to figure out if compromising on one side first will lead to overall better relationship between the two people. If you're not doing it, and then you are so not used to doing it, and then you're really out of practice, and then you do it even less, and then your body is like shut down, and you just like never want to do it, which is me.
Yeah.
Well, I think sometimes not having sex becomes a habit as well. When there's all these things going on in everybody's lives, sex falls to like the 50th place in terms of importance. That's a problem. It's not a problem if both people don't want it, but it's a problem when one party wants it more than the other party, in which case, if you're telling me that you don't want it, you can just end this challenge right now.
No, I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want to do.
No, obviously, no, but like, what is your ideal frequency?
I don't know. I'd be pretty flexible on it. You've been together for so long. There's like a lot of other things in your relationship beyond just sex. Right
Yep.
now we're like in this very difficult sort of like bicontinental kind of situation.
When we were younger, I don't think we ever had 7 days of straight sex. Did we ever?
Maybe not 7, but at least more than 1.
Our history is maybe different from a lot of couples, right? Because
We met when we were so young.
we met when we were 18. We were both virgins.
Yeah.
So literally the first 6 months together, it was just, nobody knew what, we still don't know what we're doing. We know more what we're doing now. We successfully created 2 human beings.
High five. Oh, sorry, that hit your face.
You were my first boyfriend and I was your first girlfriend. So literally it's like the blind leading the blind. Started getting better for us 4 or 5 years into the relationship. For you, you were like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's good for a gay.
Always been pretty good, but I think it's just, you know, at least you and me, we're wired very differently. It's a lot easier for me than for you.
So 7 days starting today?
Okay.
We have 10 minutes before the kids get back.
Oh.
No.
I have to get to a meeting like in 20 minutes.
I'm not in the mood right now.
Yeah,
like
not.
nobody's ever in the mood. We have to plan our day.
Plan like a workout basically.
Yeah, okay, the kids and everybody leave around 8:30.
Yeah.
So that gives us an hour.
Okay. Maybe night's better, right?
You're like totally asleep by like 9.
Oh, well, I mean.
For this, you can wake up. You sure?
If I knew it was like something important.
Oh, this is important? Hey, you want to watch a movie? Hey, you want to have a date? Actually, we gotta start soon because I just finished my period. 7 days from today is gonna be ovulation, and that's gonna be really dangerous. Are we even using any contraceptive?
I don't know, are we?
Huh?
You tell me.
Are we? We have to. Okay, we'll figure it out, and we will vlog our responses after every day.
Not during, after.
This is not a porno.
Yes, I know.
This is a documentary.
Yeah, that's.
All right, wish us luck.
Sounds like farewell. All right.
Hey, well done! This 7 days of sex.
还没开始做耶。
Yeah.
你要不要加入我？
You want me to film you?
No, 是不是加入我这 ？Not an invitation for a seminar. 你要不要也做你的自己的 7 day？
I'll make sure I have 7 and more condoms for use.
I'll Amazon Prime it back to you. You should do it. You should vlog it. Oh my god. Actually, this is what I want. I wanted to recruit a bunch of girlfriends to all do it.
Yeah.
Then, you know, it's a more powerful documentary, right?
For experimental purpose, I can do that.
你好无私哦！哎呀，好感动啊！喂，can you see?
How anxious am I talking about the 7 days of sex?
这个门是隐忧哎。
This is why we're talking about sex.
That's really like, oh.
Yeah.
So in most relationships, the man wants to have sex more than the woman.
Really?
There's this neurotransmitter, a chemical called oxytocin, and it's responsible for making you feel empathy and connectedness. When you hold your child and skin comes onto skin, then you release oxytocin, and then the mother or the father, they feel more connected. So it's a very natural human feeling to desire. Women have lots of this chemical all the time.
All the time.
So they're walking around and
Right.
you know, they go and pick up their kids from school. They'll see somebody else's mom and say, "Oh, hey,
That's
Dana,
right.
how are you?" You know, and then a guy goes to pick up the kids and they're like, "Hi," pick up the kids,
Yes,
get the hell
yes,
out of there,
yes,
right?
yes,
So it's
yes.
a totally different way of going about life. And the one time that men have the same level of oxytocin as women do is when they're orgasming in sex. Men,
Wow.
when they desire sex so much, a lot of women think, oh, he's just being selfish and he's just using me
Wants
like a
the
piece of
pleasure.
meat, and he wants his own pleasure. But really, what men are desiring is the sense of connectedness to their spouse. I think once women see it that way, then they start to see it a little bit differently.
Different.
Brings people together
Right.
as opposed to it's a selfish desire.
Right,
Yeah.
right. The kids are gone.
What does that mean?
Time to take a nap.
Okay, by nap you mean that thing we never do. Then yes.
No. Nap. I need a nap before I can do anything.
Okay, let's do it.
实话说，我现在真的很想睡觉。So maybe I just have to force myself to get up and then do it and then fall asleep.
Day 1, success. How was it?
It's always good.
Let me say something slightly more substantial.
I didn't want to like be too descriptive and evaluate like a dance competition.
It's like how you feel. Like I felt surprisingly comfortable with each other. It doesn't feel that foreign.
How would it feel foreign?
Not foreign's not a bad thing either.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I'm more comfortable with my body now.
Because you've been working out a lot.
I think because I'm in shape.
You told me once that a big part of you feeling good is you feel in shape.
Yeah, that's certainly part of yes. I do feel reasonably in shape right now. I don't feel more in shape than when I was dancing.
You're also always comparing yourself, right?
To other dancers, yes. I think the mechanics of it was good.
Yeah.
But it's still more like a workout. You're going through the actions of it, and also it feels good, but it still doesn't mean that you're turned on or like you're super excited, right? It did feel good. Good job.
High five.
Now don't slap my face again.
Just slap your face.
It's 10:30 at night. I think we have about 30 minutes before either of the kids wake up.
完成任务.
Is that all it is right now? It's just one channel right now?
Oh, it's not.
Oh my god, Sebastian just walked in. Oh, Thank goodness we were not in the middle of anything. Oh my god, that would have been traumatic. I'm really proud that we fought through this one.
It's like 1 a.m. Got interrupted. Yeah.
And I felt taken care of today.
Ding!
Good job, Donovan. Good job.
Thank you.
You're okay not coming.
That is too much. Yes, I'm okay. Focusing on each other.
Are you super bored when it's just me?
No, I'm not super bored. I'm learning things. I'm like focused on you. It's just like it's like dancing. It's like a man who is like a leader who's trying to like learn how to lead a certain move properly. Is very focused, but he's not turned on. From the perspective of you're trying to learn a new skill and you're trying to focus on doing things, and a lot of things that maybe you're doing are wrong, so you have to fix those. It's just like learning a new skill. No one learns a new skill usually and is turned on at the same time. Have you ever learned a new skill and been turned on at the same time?
Yes.
Yeah, like what? Like you're learning how to play a piano song and you're like, I'm so turned on.
Oh, but like during sex, like you could learn things about sex while being turned on.
Have you ever done that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, don't do that. You're wrong there. Do that. You're like, I am so turned on.
I'm still turned on.
You sure?
Yes. Yes, I think women are capable of being turned on and learn at the same time. Like you cannot be sexually turned on and be in the learning mode
Yes,
at the same
you
time.
know that I don't do multi-track things very well. Yes.
Being turned on is not like a thing. It's just a state of mind.
Maybe just not how I function. I don't want to speak for all men. No, I'm bored. Getting interrupted halfway with the crying baby. All good.
Kiki actually woke up in the middle. I literally have to go put him back to sleep for like 30 minutes and then we start. Like at least my mind was more involved. Honestly, the first 2 days really did feel a bit like it's all physical and the mind was not even part of it.
Well, I think they say, you know, it takes a while to set up a new habit, right? 60 days, I think, both doing the same thing. Day 3 is better than day 2, so maybe day 4 would be better than day 3. Yeah.
On day 3, it was more of a habit already. Today, afterwards, there's nothing more of that sense of connection.
We're talking about more.
Yeah, maybe the whole oxytocin thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I also realized that being naked together is actually really important. You don't get to do anymore once you have kids. Something that we used to do with abandon when we were younger.
Yeah,
when we
well,
were
my
living
former
by
roommate,
ourselves.
right, in Berkeley was a nudist, right? So.
JP?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's his name, but yeah. Well, yesterday was mostly about you, right? Felt like more in a generous mood today.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So maybe to be fair, it's just mostly when it's mostly about you then.
Then what?
Then everyone feels more generous.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, go on.
People generally divide physicists into two kinds of physicists. Theoretical physicists, and then there's experimental. Theoretical physicists tend to just spend most of the time sitting around thinking about like highly abstract concepts like, you know, I wonder what light would look like if I was traveling at the speed of light and looking over at it. And experimental physicists are super practical. Oh, what do I need in the real world based on today's technology, based on today's things, to make something happen, so go measure this thing.
So they're like entrepreneurs and
In
like
some ways, they're
business
more
people,
plugged
too.
into the real world than
I
many
am
people.
an experimental physicist.
So basically,
You-
I'm an experimental physicist.
You are-
And you're a theoretical physicist.
Is this our foreplay for day 5? Today's day 5.
4, right?
Day 4 failed. I mean, this is precisely why married people don't have sex. Like, we were actually committed to making it happen. But between the hours of 10 p.m. and like 2 or 3 a.m., it was just like both kids were up separately.
Yeah, so bottom line, theoretical physicist, experimental physicist.
Bottom line, we have a really weird way of getting turned on. Oh my god, do you remember the first time I stayed over at your place?
I just remember you slept on the floor. Like, what else happened?
You made me sleep on the floor, you dumbass.
Well, I mean, it was my bed, so I was just like, she's a guest. Guest sleep on the floor. I sleep on my own bed.
I should have cut my loss then. That was really good. That was definitely the best.
Your practice makes perfect.
Yeah, it does.
Well,
It does.
I'll have to see you tomorrow.
That one day of recovery. Right?
Kids interrupting.
That made a huge difference. I feel like it kind of reminded me of college.
But
We spent so much time just hanging out, chatting, talking, and yeah, it's nice. I'm filming the outro alone because Donovan's completely passed out. So, not gonna lie, I was kind of looking forward to today because it's just taken a few days to get to this point where there's some anticipation, there's enough bonding and trust, there's enough stuff to look forward to. I was very disappointed that this turned out to be a one-sided effort, but oh well, it's life. If it's not for this challenge, then, you know, we would probably just be asleep.
Day 7! We made it.
Yeah, we survived.
Yeah.
Today was really good for me.
Yeah, I know.
We tried something new. I didn't know there were new things to try.
So the thing we never do is the thing we sometimes.
Neither of those things. I am now convinced by the power of this experiment. It's really gotten better day by day, except for the days when you're passed out. Oh, then today afterwards, we actually just talked and talked and talked.
About Go.
About Go and physics, emergent properties. When would we set aside time like that too?
That's true.
To talk, right? So.
Fun.
We survived! We're here to talk about our conclusion of the 7-day challenge. What do you think?
Awesome.
Do you have anything to... Oh my god, you're so good for being used to... The first thing I want to say is committing to 7 days was actually extremely important because the difficulty, that hump. First 1 or 2 days, you're tired, you don't want to do it. By the 3rd or 4th day, you know you're committed to it, you have to do it, but it's just really hard. And then by the 5th, 6th, 7 days, it was really good. We've had a few days of building up the goodwill and bonding. I would recommend everyone to actually commit to 7 days instead of any period that's shorter than that. You know Esther Perel? She's like a very famous sexologist and she has these like TED Talks with like billions of views. But one of the lines that really struck me was that she said, sex is not a thing that you do, it's a place that you go.
Oh. Okay. I'm trying to think of that.
No, but I think it's so true because in our case, it's actually 2 aspects. There's like the mental space, which is like all the time and effort and thinking and commitment that you need to put into each other every day. But there's also like the physical space of it. Ever since we started sleeping apart because of the 2 kids, right? Like we have a co-sleeping arrangement right now. So he sleeps with Sebastian and I sleep with Kiki. Essentially, we don't have a room that's dedicated to us being safe and being with each other without any of the kids running in at any time. This challenge, we dedicated our study, our makeshift office space into a sex space. Exactly like college, right? It's a twin-size bed. But like every day at 11:30 p.m. we just commit ourselves to locking into that room. You know what's coming. Having the room was actually really important. So many couples probably have the same issue, right? You don't have enough space to do it. We make it. Do you agree? John, you're onto something, man. He was right. The skin-to-skin contact, it stimulates oxytocin, which makes you feel bonded. Yeah. And the truth is, nowadays, we're like fully clothed all the time. We don't really touch each other.
There's a reason people are fully clothed all the time.
Yeah, but there was a time when we were not fully clothed. Like, ever!
That's way before kids.
Yes, but I'm just trying to say, like, those times we were, like, very bonded with each other. And we were very close. Of course, like, there were a lot of other things that helped. You know, having dance in our lives.
Not needing to work.
Yes, everything else removed, but if we could at least replicate one part of our bonding back then is that we were naked a lot. So I think being naked in a dedicated space forces you to really just be focused on each other. There's something about that that makes neither of us want to check the phone.
It's one of us.
At least one of us. So we then had some of the best conversations we've had in the last couple of years, right? You remember?
Of course.
You really?
Did we talk about hypercubes or something one night?
Please don't. Opening up about challenges in our life and careers.
Being apart for so long.
Our egos. And we got creative. Well, okay, I mean, obviously this is an advice that's frequently given to people in a long-term relationship. Get creative, role-playing, try different things, blah, blah, blah. So we're actually so vanilla, right? Like,
well, I don't know. I've never actively asked anyone else.
well, I have. I talk to my girlfriends all the time. Most people get lazy before they get creative. If you're in a long-term relationship, you're like so bored with each other, you're not going to bother being creative.
Do you have a lot of friends who are role-playing?
Things? I don't know, actually. I should go poll people because we were committed to 7 days. It's like being at camp, right? So you might as well try the things that you were maybe a little bit curious about.
That's true.
Yeah. Do you like the creative stuff that we tried?
Novelty is always
But you weren't even involved.
like what?
The creative stuff.
Now I feel like we're talking about 2 different things.
The thing.
Yeah, well, there were only 2 people involved. By definition, of course, I was involved.
But I mean, you were not involved. You were not receiving.
I don't want to receive that. So the things don't need to be received. Can just be the giver.
Well, do you enjoy giving?
Yeah, I giving and receiving and receiving. Was that a Friends episode?
That was Joey.
The love that they give and have is shared and received.
The receiving and the giving and the giving and the receiving. Yeah.
It's not just about sex, it's also about play. Well, because so often, like, the end goal of sex seems to be penetration, ejaculation, orgasm, right? And because time is so scarce, anytime you get a chance to do it, you just get straight to the point. And because you're usually the one initiating it, I always feel like sex then is about fulfilling your needs and your pleasure. And because during this challenge, it's very equal. It's not about anybody initiating. So,
If anything, you initiated the whole challenge, too.
that's true. I also initiated the whole challenge. When there are days when it's just about me, beginning, middle, and end, I feel very taken care of. I feel very appreciated.
Because you were the receiver.
Yes, but I don't often feel like the receiver. And actually, this is through no fault of yours. You do everything in your power to take care of me first. However, I think the psychology of who initiates and who's in power, all those things matter because I felt very taken care of. It makes me that much more bonded to you and that much more wanting to give back and back to the giving
To the
and
receiving.
receiving and the giving. Ultimately, you're committing to intimacy. It's not just about the sex. While sex is important and it's great, I think most of us would agree that that intimate relationship between ourselves, mind, body, and soul is more important than just a physical relationship. And the 7-day challenge actually really allowed us to be intimate in a way that we haven't been for years. So, would you recommend this challenge to all your friends?
Yes, I would. Married friends, yeah.
To anyone in a long-term relationship, especially people with kids who maybe feel like they've been struggling with intimacy and struggling to find that space and time between the couple.
7 days is long, but it's not that long.
Yeah, and it's like, what's the worst that could happen?
You seriously asking that?
Some things could happen, yeah, so that's a pretty big price to pay. But if you're rational, cautious about it, like normal people should be, then
right.
hopefully it's not as risky!
I agree.
Can we be less in sync?
I'm trying to purposely be offbeat from you.
Okay, bye. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye.
Such a special episode planned for you guys. Dude, why do you have to be so fucking loud? Why would anybody enter a room with the kind of volume?
What volume? Totally.
Dude, what the hell? Was that necessary?
Sorry for barging in and sorry for
no shit.
smelling like a dumpling. The dumpling was really good.
I cannot film with you like this close to my face.
Does it smell better now?
No, you have some nostrils.
Damn it. Okay. Should I come back again?
Let's talk